why do I think that a third generation approach is beneficial for the time we are living in? We are living in a society which has developed in a specific way during the last 30 years. And the other perspective is that there is a radical change in what learning and knowledge production is in our time. And the third dimension, and I think I learned mostly through my involvement with these many leaders I have taught, is also something different. So the first thing which we can state is that we live in a world of globality. And globality means that a lot of things which happen around the world affect our lives in Holland, in Denmark, in Utrecht, or wherever we are. And another perspective is we have a problem to grasp and control the complexity we are living in. I think a focus on meaning making and local values are getting fundamental impact on further development. I think coaching has to be more organized as a reflective process. So let us have a look about what kind of changes we can see in regard to learning and knowledge production. In the old days, maybe until the 50s or 60s of the last century, parents were an authority. Teachers were an authority. Medical doctors were authorities. But nowadays, I mean, if you go to a doctor, you have been on a net doctor page and you know more probably about the different symptoms and possibilities of treatments and things like this than the poor doctor where you are maybe patient number 15 of the day. And so you are suddenly a different, you start to have a different relationship to these authorities. And also what it means to develop competencies is something totally different than earlier. Competencies are much more related to a personal project an employee has. So, and I think the last challenge, or one of the important challenges, is a change in leadership. And leadership nowadays means actually handling complexity. When we speak about or accept this assumption on that we live in a hyper-complex society with hyper-complex systems, so then both leaders and employees have to handle a growing complexity in both their working lives, in the organization, and in society and their private life in general. So in this sense, leadership means handling these contingencies and live with the situation that it's impossible to create clarity, safety, and security over a long time. In that sense, you could say that you live in a space of permanent reflection. So, and here, a new focus on dialogue is coming in. What I described here, these three areas lead me to promoting this third generation coaching. The main thing is that there is a strong focus on meaning and values. So, and the focus here is actually on what you could call focus on the landscapes of identity. You as a coach are much more a witness, so you become a witness thinker. So you try to include or grasp the life world or get a sense of the life world of the other. A very subtle process where the relationship to another person is the key issue. When you speak about witness thinking, when you speak about being a fellow human, then you are putting yourself in a position of equal. So there are periods of symmetry. And this is actually even more at hand when you speak about group coaching or team coaching, because the other coachees in the group are in an equal position. And of course, you are the leader of a group session as a coach, but you can put yourself from time to time in a position as a resonating partner. And there you become something different. And there are these bits where also leaders can do something, what you could claim as a coaching-oriented dialogue. It's not coaching, but it's coaching-oriented. And what I think we should value more is this orientation of meaning-making and a focus on values. Values are central for understanding one's landscapes of identity. It's much more than just a word, freedom, trust, loyalty, or whatever it could be. It's also how it unfolds in your landscapes. Based on knowledge, and a knowledge of what we have done, so our experiences, and what we are able to do, and it's a kind of practical wisdom. Practical wisdom is actually a translation of a Greek word which is called phronesis. And if you can't make it as a kind of a magic trick. And maybe sometimes people get to know that they are at the wrong place. But often people also get in touch with something where they really see, and they reload their batteries, actually, in some sense, because they suddenly know why they are doing it. So, and now I would like to go further to the next point, that, and this is meaning. So meaning is fundamental because we ascribe our experiences, actions, our interplay with others, and our life and work specific values. So there's a clear connection between when we talk about meaningfulness and the values behind it. We often connect it to stories, to narratives. People have told stories several thousand years ago and made meaning of their culture, their lives, their togetherness, their relationships to each other. But now I think there is a new stage of importance for narrative. So how does meaning develop? And I think it's an interplay between the way we do things, our action, our way how we sense things, our way we reflect about things, and our way how we speak about it. And there are different ways of doing it. When we get a sense of something, it's not put in words, and there is an act of transformation. What we sense is something, we have gut feelings maybe. But if we put it in words, it develops also in a new way. And it becomes something more or something different. And we become maybe even clear about what is being said. There is one perspective which is where meaning evolves through actual experiences and through implicit knowledge. And the other perspective is that meaning is shaped in relationship with others. And these two streams of meaning making are unfolded in this process of coaching in two different ways. In the first process, where the focus is on individual experiences and meaning making, we explore a subjective reality, our personal universe. And keep in mind what I write here, it's only an analytical differentiation. So we develop a subjective reality, and there is a clear aesthetic focus, a focus on sensing and meaning making. We try to reduce complexity and give our orientation by anchoring people in specific values and specific beliefs, in an understanding of developing practical wisdom. So I continue to the third point here, and here it is the point of that coaching is also working with the implicit dimension. So, and it's an aesthetic learning project. So we have to work towards that we are intentionally oriented to the situation all the time. We are embodied in specific situations. So, and here it's again the phenomenological perspective, the experiential dimension which is coming into being. It's a kind of process, a subjective psychic process unit that one is aware of. And there are other dimensions which are coming in here. We are attentive and mindful. Epoche is a dimension also used in mindfulness, actually. It means that it's freedom from prejudgment assessment, that you don't evaluate the situation, so that you try to get in contact with more or less the essential experiences, and don't say, oh, this was also stupid or something, that you have a kind of assessment about it. And this is also maybe a kind of a bit spooky term. Kaios is also something which comes from Greek and means the right moment. And what is actually happening is that you prepare something so that you really try to revisit a situation you have been in. When we build narratives, we are linking actually past, present, and future in a story. The effect of narratives is actually that hearing the voice of others is an encounter, an interchange of experience, feelings, and thoughts. And we tend to hear the stories through the lens of our own experience and sense-making. And this is where we are connecting ourselves to other stories. And we share this, we do it through being a witness towards the story of others, and a resonating partner to the stories of others. And if we work in groups, there's something totally new coming up.